Good evening, everybody. I'm calling this meeting to order at 5:30 p.m. Mrs. Ansel, can you please take roll?
Yes, President Leticia Garcia,
Here.
Vice President Roberto Campo, Clerk Beatriz Perez. Here. Trustee Guadalupe Gilpas Barrera. Here. Trustee Jose Antonio Jimenez.
Here.
Mr. Ocampo is absent.
Moving on to item 1C, the Pledge of Allegiance. We will be having the Pledge of Allegiance led by Creekside Student Leadership. Please come up, Moises Marin, Isaac Hernandez, Samaya Campos, and Ashley Avalos.
Please stand and join us for the Pledge of Allegiance. Put your right hand over the heart. Ready? Salute. I pledge
allegiance to the flag of the United States of America, to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, and liberty and justice for all.
You may sit down.
Thank you, Creekside Leadership, Student Leadership. We're moving on to item 1D, Spotlight. This is an opportunity to feature up to a 3-minute presentation, the positive things that are taking place throughout the district. Do we have any spotlights?
Yes, we have two. Ms. Keiko.
Good evening, board members, superintendent, and cabinet members. Tonight, I would like to share about our Classified Professional Development Day. On October 10th, our classified staff came together for a meaningful and inspiring professional development day. And what a success it was. We had 283 participants. I would like to take a moment to recognize and thank our dedicated Professional Development Day committee members who worked to plan and coordinate this event. For CSEA, Alma Forte Jauregui, Rene Mora, Miriam Aldama, and myself. For the district, George Lopez, Marita Salazar, Elizabeth Muradas, and Moises Benito. This year's event was a little different. Under the leadership of George Lopez, Human Resource Director, we embraced a creative and new approach centered around the theme Toy Story. The theme reflected the importance of teamwork, growth, and support one another, reminding us that just like in the movie, we are all in this together. We received overwhelmingly positive feedback from participants who were inspired by our keynote speaker, Dr. Oswald, who spoke about how we can better support our students through an understanding of ACEs, adverse childhood experience, such as trauma, abuse, and neglect. Her presentation encouraged staff to recognize signs of distress and provide practical strategies to help create a safe and nurturing environment for every student. In addition to the keynote, staff learned more about the goals of our community school initiative, focusing on attendance, literacy, and family and community engagement, and how these goals connect directly to their daily work. The new workshop format allowed staff to choose sessions that matched their interests, offered new skills, and supported their professional and personal growth. The energy was high and the enthusiasm was contagious, with music, dancing, and plenty of smile throughout the day. We are also proud to have our confidential staff with us. They are often behind the scenes, but they are a vital part of the educational team and play an essential role in keeping our school and programs running smoothly. A heartfelt thank you to Ms. Monica Anso for her ongoing support in encouraging administrators to participate and collaborate in this meaningful event, and to Ms. Lupes Barrera, sorry, for joining us and even helping serve lunch to participants. Your support truly made a difference and was greatly appreciated. Like the message behind the Toy Story, this day reminded us that no matter our role, every person contributes something special to the success of our students and our district. Together, we continue to learn, grow, and build a strong community of support for all. Thank you.
We have one more. Ms. Claudia Melendez?
Good afternoon, President Garcia, trustees, Superintendent Anso, cabinet members, Claudia Melendez, Public Information Officer, with a couple of spotlights for you. Ms. Eugenia Cagigas, an RSP teacher at John Steinbeck Elementary School, was selected as the Mentor of the Month for September in the Monterey County Induction Program. Ms. Cagigas is described as leading with kindness, dedication, and a genuine passion for helping others grow. She goes the extra mile for her candidates, even spending Saturdays at professional development sessions to be supportive through partner and help them process new learning. Her consistency, open communication, and heartfelt care make her a wonderful example of what compassionate, effective mentorship looks like. Ms. Cagigas has two mentees, Ms. Larnie Costa and Ms. Marianne Espiritu. She has been at ALASAL for 4 years and a mentor for 3. It's an honor to highlight Ms. Cagigas for her dedication to supporting new teachers in their journey. And I have another one. The California Association of Science Education features Superintendent Monica Anso, Curriculum and Instruction Edie Porter, and Creekside Elementary William Francel in a special issue of Strategic Investment in TK-12 Science. Mr. Francel prepared a story of impact, elevating science education, a collaborative journey in Alisal Union School District, investing in science as a lever for language and literacy. This article is proof that others outside of Alisal are paying attention to the district's journey to improve science education and the players who are making it possible. Thank you.
Any other spotlights? No? Thank you. Okay, we're moving on to item 1E, adoption of the agenda. May I have a motion to adopt the agenda?
Make a motion.
Mr. Jimenez, may I get a second?
Second.
Ms. Perez, comments or questions? Ms. Anso, can you please take the line vote?
Yes. Trustee Leticia Garcia?
Yes.
Trustee Roberto Campo?
Yes.
Trustee Beatriz Perez? Yes. Trustee Guadalupe Guilpas Barrera?
Yes.
Trustee Jose Antonio Jimenez?
Yes.
Motion passes 5-0.
Thank you. Moving on to item 2, public comment concerning items on the open session agenda and/or non-agenda items. Guidelines, there will be a 2-minute limit for individuals and a 20-minute limit on total public comments. There is no ceding of one's time to other individuals. A, individuals wishing to address the Board of Trustees on open session agenda items and/or other items may do so at starting time 5:39.
And we have 2. We have 2. Ms. Delgadillo.
Ms. Delgadillo?
I'm a little nervous, so please forgive me.
Are we ready?
Yes. Okay, good evening, board members, Superintendent Ansel, community members, students, and colleagues. My name is Rosario Delgadillo, and I proudly serve as one of the 6 visual and performing arts teachers on special assignment. To many, we are known as a VAPA art teachers. In my role, I support all grade levels from TK through 6, creating and modeling art and performance lessons that are all written entirely in English. Recently, I visited a bilingual TK class to model a visual arts lesson. I began teaching in English, but I quickly noticed that the students were disengaged. Their faces showed confusion and disinterest. At that moment, I drew on my bilingual skills, my superpowers, and translated the lesson into Spanish. Instantly, the energy shifted. Students' faces lit up with excitement and understanding. They participated eagerly and expressed themselves with confidence. That transformation reminded me why being bilingual is not just helpful, it's crucial to my work. When I model lessons in bilingual classrooms, I must often translate on the spot. Many of our students are just beginning their English journey, and hearing instructions and encouragement in Spanish allows them to connect meaningfully to the lesson. It tells them that their language matters, that who they are matters. In visual and performing arts, language is a bridge to creativity and belonging. Through every art project and performance, I promote bilingualism, biculturalism, and biliteracy, values that strengthen both our students and our community. By embracing both English and Spanish, I help students see the beauty of their voices, that they can think, dream, and create in both languages. And that's where true learning and confidence begin. Thank you. I did it.
Nathan Toy?
Mrs. Pereira, Mrs. Garcia, everybody, good evening. Do you want to leave a house? Do you want to leave a house with a next door by your dumpster? Why do I have to leave a house with a dumpster? Two big dumpster next by my house.
Good evening, Board of Directors. My name is Nathan Toy. This is my mother, Anita Toy. We are longtime residents. I was born here in the city of Salinas. We live over, I forget the name of the middle school, but on Partridge Street. It's over next behind Food for Less. Recently, there was a early learning center that was built. My mom's issue, as well as mine, is that the lot that was behind our house was vacant for the last 15 years when we bought that house and I grew up in it. Recently, there is a dumpster that is attached to the backyard. And so I have I have photos, and I'm happy to share that with the board, where you can peek over the fence and see that dumpster. The reason why we are here before you today is my mom has met with multiple different members of different agencies, and she has been told, because this is an early learning center, that this is a school board issue. I'm happy to share the address. It's on the corner of Buckhorn and Falcon Drive. Again, I wasn't able to pull up the exact address because it's not available on Google Maps because it is brand new. And so what I wanted to cite was that there are rodents, there are flies. My mom's back door opens directly, or from the kitchen opens into the backyard, and then within 5 feet of the fence is a dumpster. My mom has stated that she hears at night rodents who are running around in the fence, as well as the neighbors hear this as well. There are huge flies that are coming from this. My mom recently met with the superintendent of the early learning center, and she cited that it is not possible to move because there is an inability to move a big dumpster truck in there to handle and I'll yield my time. I'm happy to share any of the materials here with the board. Again, the final resolution that we'd like is for consideration into moving the dumpster into another spot within the lot. This is a brand new
Thank you.
facility. Thank you. I appreciate your time.
You can leave your items with us, sir, Ms. Sophia.
Okay,
We'll
thank
be
you.
happy to look at them. Thank you so much. Any other, do we have any others? No? Okay. Moving on to item B, Ending time is at 5:45. Closing that out. Moving on to item 2B, association comments, LSL Teachers Association.
Good evening. Mrs. Onzo, Board of Trustees, Cabinet, and LSL community. Tonight, I would like to share a spotlight regarding one of our own ATA members. Angela DeRamos, who also is a CTA board member at large, was recently recognized with the Courage to Stand in the Field of Education Award by the Democratic Women of Monterey and Santa Cruz County. This is a big honor and recognizes her 26 years commitment to educating our students. So I just wanted to share that with you. Thank you.
Thank you. Moving on to California School Employees Association, Chapter 577.
Good evening again, Board President, board members, and Superintendent and Cabinet. Solange K. Quinoa, CSA Chapter 577 President. Tonight, I would like to bring to your attention a concern regarding the mandatory training sessions for classified staff, actually for all the staff. Currently, some classified employees are completing this required training during their own time, such as lunch breaks, rest periods, or after work hours. Since these trainings are mandatory, I believe they should be completed during regular paid work hours, similar to the practice for certificate staff. This would ensure fair and consistent treatment across our employees group. Could this issue please be reviewed and clarified to ensure equity and compliance with labor regulation? Thank you. Maybe they should be compensated, or the school can get together all the classified staff, because some they don't have access to computer and it's hard for them. So, and even to log in, sometimes the code doesn't work. So maybe there's a deadline, and I hope that issue can be addressed as soon as possible. Thank you.
United Substitute Teachers Union. Is there anybody here from there? No? Thank you. Moving on to item 3A, presentations. Superintendent Monica Anzo and Cabinet members Dr. Clara Fernandez and Josue Diaz. Update.
Okay, so as they are preparing to give the presentation, I just wanted to do a little opening for the presentation. And I know this is some conversations we've had. We've presented data to you, what's happening at the sites, what's working, what's not working. And one of the things that we're looking at is making sure that we strengthen our site leaders in their instructional leader skills. And so we're committed to that. And for that, we have to be strategic. So today, Mr. Diaz and Dr. Fernandez will be presenting, we're going to be bringing on the November 19th, a change to the restructuring of supervision. And so the changes have to happen on a job description. So they'll be presenting a little bit more details, and we'll answer any questions that you have. And we'll make sure that we also share this with the principals so that we're transparent on what's happening. They are already aware of some of the changes that are going to happen, but now it's going to be in writing. So we want to make sure that we get their voice before we bring it to the November 19th meeting. Thank you.
Thank you, Superintendent Anso. And now with that, we're going to move forward with our presentations. So good evening to President Garcia, trustees, and our community at large. So we're going to go ahead and get started. So here we have an example of the principal job description in regards to our current job description and then what we are proposing. So our current principal job description lacks clarity and reporting structure. What that means is that currently what we have in the job description lists our superintendent as being their supervisor. And while I am listed as deputy superintendent as being able to assist. This issue here creates some confusion regarding evaluation criteria in terms of who should be the direct supervisor. It also leads to limited accountability and role expectations. What we are now proposing is in regards to a new supervisor role overview, which really comes down to me as deputy superintendent or my designee and being able to supervise our principals. This would create a clear line of supervisor improvements in regards to organizational clarity and also lead to enhanced alignment with evaluation frameworks and also allowing really an added layer of accountability focused on student learning and obviously achievement.
And so the importance, of course, of having clear job descriptions is number one, clarity. Updated job descriptions that clearly define essential functions, qualifications, and performance standards. And so when we talk about strategic organizational alignment, we really want to ensure that every role is aligned with the district's current goals and mission. It prevents redundant tasks or overlap with other job descriptions. And I really identify skill gaps, which allow for decisions to support, and allowing decisions to support student and operational success overall.
And again, the focus here is to align leadership for instructional excellence. And with that, the focus would be on continuing to support our site leaders as being one of our highest priorities. Principal supervision is being realigned or would be realigned under educational services. Again, whereas I would be listed as deputy superintendent or my designee. And this alignment would strengthen instructional leadership and consistency across all schools. Also, updating the principal job description will help emphasize their role as instructional leaders, not just operational managers. And again, when it comes to instructional leadership, we really want to tap and leverage instructional excellence for all of our students. Also, the updated job description will align with the California Professional Standards for Educational Leaders, also known as CAPSULs, to better support against student achievement. And our next step would be presenting the updated job descriptions for board review on November 19th.
And so just to close out, our theory of action behind this is if we clean up and strategically align job descriptions, then we will ensure every employee knows their essential role, fostering a culture of accountability, and ultimately driving student achievement and operational excellence. Any questions?
Questions on this side? Yeah, okay, thank you. Ms. Gilpas.
Thank you for that information. Well, I'm all for this because originally when the district opened up the position for deputy superintendent, originally the deputy superintendent was going to supervise the principals and evaluate. So does this also include evaluation? Yes, because it'll be the supervisor. So what role then would the principals have with the superintendent? That's my first question.
So as the superintendent, I'm still the boss of everybody, right? So I'm still the person that's going to direct, but in this case, I'll be directing cabinet. They built a layer of even protection for the principals. In this case, they'll have a direct supervisor that they can not just be evaluated and supervised, but also coached and mentored. If they have a concern or an issue, then there's a layer of next steps and who's going to be the next person to make sure to help me resolve this issue. So this is the role that I will have, just like I have with any director or any other staff member.
Okay, yes, because I do remember that's what it was supposed to be like, and Mr. Koenig unilaterally changed it. And so we waited and hoping that this would, I mean, at least myself, I should speak only for myself, that this would again happen because we want support for our principals, more direct support, more, less of the confusion. And I think that one thing that I would be very concerned with is that that's how it stays. If it's going to be Dr. Fernandez, then her job description or deputy, not her job description, but the deputy would have that written in. I didn't know that's something that the board would have to take action on. I guess because it was taken off, now we have to put that back in there.
So I'll let them address that, but in order for the process, and that's part of what you'll see, it'll be several job descriptions that are coming to the board for review. It'll be Dr. Fernandez's, it'll be the principal's. The principal's actual job description hasn't been revised in a very long time. You'll see the dates, but it's like decades. And so we're making it more contemporary, more modern. The supervision will be under the deputy superintendent or designee. So we do have one of our directors who has been working closely with the principals, and that's for something that we will bring. If that's the way we're going as a designee, then that job description also needs to be aligned. So then there's clarity in the system.
So would that mean that Dr. Fernandez would give some of her duties to that designee
So some of the supervision duties, and yes,
of the principals?
yes, because she will still supervise and evaluate the directors in its services.
But you're saying that there would be someone else, a designee. Okay,
Yeah.
well, I'll have to wait and see that. Because I mean, I think it's a very well-paid job. I think you're very educated and you can do it and you've been doing it. But so far, I guess I'm just gonna have to know more. I just, it's gonna be hard for the principals, maybe that changed to be under the deputy superintendent, but now we're asking them or a designee. And that's going to be that's a lot. I don't know. We'll see how that plays out, and we'll wait for the discussion. But I know that I'm for having the deputy do what that job description says. And I don't know about sharing responsibility with another employee when it comes to the principal, who's not the superintendent. So we'll see how that plays out. And surely it's not going to be another cabinet member, correct?
No, the designee? No.
Oh, okay.
It'll be in ed services.
Okay. Thank you. That's it.
Ms. Perez, any questions, concerns? How about over here? Mr. Jimenez, I'll go with you first. Okay, Mr. Ocampo?
I guess just a comment. Yeah, I like the fact that the principals are being moved over to the educational department, because I think if they would be under Mrs. Anso, you're more administration. At least that's the way I see it, right? But the educational department has all the expertise, I think, in terms of making sure that teachers are teaching to the Common Core standards, and that teachers are addressing any learning gaps, so that in a meaningful way, so that our students can increase their scores on the exams. And it's obviously the responsibility of the principals to make sure that all this is happening. So the way I see it is that the educational department will be ensuring that all these things are happening, and that the principals are in fact doing all these things. Because we always talk about all these test scores that we get, and the question has always been, are principals making sure that something is happening with those test scores, that teachers are really looking at them and really teaching the gaps, and really doing everything they can to increase the testing of their students. So I think I'm happy to see this. I think it's something that the board has been talking about, sort of in general terms, about all this. So at least this is like a beginning, I think, to go in that direction. I believe so. So I think it's a very, very good thing. That's my only comment.
Yeah. Okay, how often are principals evaluated?
So the goal would be to evaluate our principals annually. And again, a part of these changes would be to have that coaching, that support. So we really want to, make sure that that's being heard here, that it's, yes, we're moving the evaluation into ed services, but also with that, providing the support necessary, the coaching to our principals as well.
So right now, they're not evaluated annually? Or they're not evaluated at all, or they're
So
just
they-
once in a while, or how?
So they were being evaluated with the former superintendent, and I think it was not, again, that's the clarity we want to add.
Okay, so we're cleaning things up, yeah?
Yes.
Is that it, what we're doing?
Correct.
Making it more streamlined, and now the principals will know who they report to immediately, immediate supervisor type of thing? Okay. Yeah, my bigger concern is a designee. Because we understand that you have the background knowledge and, you've been a principal, you've done all that. My concern is who the designee is going to be. Because if they don't come with that experience, it's going to be hard for a principal to take. And I'm not going to say it's going to be hard. I don't even know if the hard is the right word, but I mean, if they haven't walked in their shoes, it's kind of hard for them to actually give them the type of advice and encouragement and support and supervision that they will need if they have a deficiency. And that's my next comment. How are you going to, let's see, identify skill gaps? How?
Well, I think the knowledge and having, like you said, been in their shoes before, that's one part of the whole picture, right? But also looking at multiple points of data. How are they performing when it comes not only looking at our student scores, but also their interactions that they're having with their community, with their parents, with our teachers, and the changes, hopefully positive changes that we're seeing.
So will you be meeting with them at least 3 times a year, maybe setting goals at the beginning, kind of doing that whole
Yes.
evaluation process that we already do with teachers? Is that how we're looking at
Correct.
this?
That would be part of the process, ensuring that we have a framework, a strong framework when it comes to evaluations that's looking at multiple points of data to be able to arrive at those evaluations.
Okay, and so like, if they get very good at what they do, is it gonna be at one point necessary to evaluate them every year, or will they be able to go off a year? Because I mean, teachers, at least I'm thinking teachers in LSL once they become tenure, they don't get evaluated yearly, do they?
No.
No, so
No, no.
after they prove their proficiency levels, that you could still goals with anybody, right? Every year, they should be setting goals with the principals, but will that be something that will be done, or is it gonna be every year, the
No.
principals are gonna get evaluated?
So we have the board policy, and we did have a process that was in place, not very consistently. So we do have, and Mr. Diaz, we handed him the process, so he made sure it was sent out to all the leaders saying, this is the certificated management evaluation process, this is the classified management evaluation process. We need to set goals, so we followed what the teacher CBA says, which is the goal setting. There's a certain date for goal setting, there's a certain date for mid-year review, and there's then the summative evaluation. What we need to make sure is it's aligned to the job description now that it's going to be more contemporary, and because that evaluation process was all for all certificated management, do we need something just clearly for the principals? What's also in the part of that process is the board policy that did say if they had a satisfactory evaluation, then it would be on a cycle of 2 years. So there's a cycle in our board policy, and maybe we can review those and bring them maybe the next meeting so that we can see clearly and even an organizational chart of who that designee would be. If we recall, we actually updated a job description to offer leadership development and accountability. So we do have a director that is closely working with the principals currently. And if that's the support that Dr. Fernandez needs, because we have to remember she also has 10 directors, right? So there's the 10 directors that oversee most of the activities that happen at a school site. So we have our director of curriculum and instruction, director of pupil personnel, director of leadership accountability, director of early learning. All those are the jobs that the expanded learning, all those are the things that the principals have to be in charge of at their sites. For me as a superintendent, I'm more removed from that now. So I am visiting the sites, I'm visiting the classrooms. I have given the teachers, mostly more than anything is for the principals, some direction of what I want to see in the classrooms, what we call the superintendent compass. So that's in place. But we want to make sure that our principals have the support that they deserve. Having me support them, it's, yes, I can do it, but I'm farther away from the classroom and the actual activities that are happening through Ed Services to the directors. Dr. Fernandez is the one that's the closer to what the directors and the principals are working on. So she would be able to have that skill and knowledge of what a school should look like and what it should what it should look like when it's running based on all the programs that we have set in Ed Services. It's any program that you look at, like community schools, it's all happening through the Ed Services side.
Okay, thank you. Yeah, I guess it will take a while to make that shift. We're, as principals, they're supposed to be seen as instructional leaders, but oftentimes they do get stuck in the operational manager's side of the house anyway. And so sometimes you do have to train also parents. They want to come to the schools, and the first thing they want to do is talk to the principal. But I guess administrative assistants there will have to help and shield the principal so that they're not bogged down on the day-to-day. It'll take a while to make that shift, but I think, well, I'm going to speak for myself. I think we all, I'm hoping we want to see results, right? We want to see results. So I think our parents are counting on us. We want to see, that everything, our academics go up. We want to see schools impacting students in a positive way. All of us want that. So well, hopefully this is a step in the right direction. And I thank you for your presentation.
You're welcome. Our pleasure.
Okay, going on to item 3, presentation, item 3B, school site presentation, Creekside Elementary School, Principal William Frenzel.
All right, good evening, President Garcia, members of the Board of Trustees, Superintendent Anzo, cabinet members, and community members. My name is Will Frenzel, and I'm the principal at Creekside.
Hi, good afternoon. My name is Cristina Mendoza, and I'm the assistant principal at Creekside.
We're grateful to have this opportunity to present to you all tonight this information during tonight's board meeting. This is the content that we'll cover this evening. Thank you. Thanks, Clemente. Okay, so we're going to be going over our school overview, talking about our current reality, our impact cycle, navigating classrooms, 30, 60, 90-day plan summary, and then we're going to talk about reflecting and growing together. Here's our school overview. We have TK through 6th grade, 25 classes total. We have 557 students at Creekside. We have one-way bilingual class. We have 24 ELC classes, 3 SDC classes, a caseload of 27 students in our RSP, and then 26 migrant students.
And we are very proud to share with you that our school community, including our instructional leadership team, has co-created our school vision, mission, and core values. And I will read those for you now. So at Creekside, our vision is that we are committed to inspiring our lifelong learners to achieve their social, emotional, and academic potential. And the how we're going to reach that vision is our mission. And at Creekside, we empower all learners by providing an equitable, accessible, and innovative learning environment to promote critical thinking, ensure collaboration, build character, and foster joy. Our core values, what we value at Creekside is respect, responsibility, citizenship, integrity, collaboration, critical thinking, creativity, perseverance, empathy, curiosity, joy, kindness, courage, and gratitude. So the strategies that are outlined in our SIPSA, our daily decisions on teaching and learning, and our school climate are all designed to address the identified gaps, and they are aligned to our school's vision, mission, and core values.
Okay, so we'd like to talk to you about some of the evidence that we collect from teachers who are collaborating during their PLTs. And some of this evidence includes the teaching and learning of science in every classroom. So you'll notice there's kind of a theme in our presentation tonight with a lot of science and STEM. So here's a brief summary of some of our strategies that we are really focusing on. It includes continuing to strengthen our school climate and culture. We are investing in our ILT, which is our instructional leadership team. It also includes redesigning staff meetings. There are professional learning opportunities almost every week. Science and STEM as a driver at Creekside. We've built an innovation lab. That's now the third year that it's fully operational, and teachers are getting in there every week with their students into the innovation lab. And our goal is to bring that innovation into every classroom every day. We are using the superintendent instructional compass during our learning walks, and that is something that's a common language across every grade level and every classroom. And we encourage you to come visit our classrooms and talk to students. We are in classrooms doing learning walks with our instructional coach, and we are continuing to strengthen the vertical articulation across grade levels. We are focusing on English language development, our ELD, designated ELD. And then, of course, we have our Creekside Community School, which is a very strong partnership with family engagement and parents becoming more involved in our community at Creekside. And then last but not least, our wellness team. We're very proud of our wellness team. We believe in SEL for all, not only for students, but also for adults. And this has helped to improve our attendance. This is something that we're really proud of. It's a couple highlights that we wanted to share. This was mentioned earlier about California Association of Science Education or Educators. CASE did a white paper that was released just a couple of weeks ago, and it did highlight Alisal and Creekside for the teaching and learning of science in elementary school, and we can share that with you. There's a couple pages that go into details about kind of our story of what we've done in the last couple of years, our current reality of where we are and where we're going. And we're also proud to say that we'll be presenting at the STEM for All symposium in San Diego in mid-November. We're going to have a breakout session that, again, we'll be sharing our story, what Creekside's doing in Alisal. And that's from folks across the state and the nation. So we're celebrating at this point because there's a lot to highlight, a lot of great things happening at Creekside.
Thank you. And now we'd like to share the soil of our growth, which is our current reality, and the data that we'd like to present. We'd like to start by highlighting our fifth grade team and our students, and they were able to achieve over 27% of met or exceeding state standards in the science assessment in the 24-25 school year. So again, we really wanted to highlight our fifth grade students for all their effort, as well as our fifth grade teachers. We partially met our SIPSA goal in our fifth grade team by achieving a growth of more than 18% in ELA and 20% in mathematics, as well as 9% in science. So our plan is to increase our scores in English language arts, mathematics, and science by at least 7% across third through sixth grade in this upcoming academic school year. So we want to share with you, again, the percentage of our students who met or exceeded standards in our CASP for English language arts, math, and science in third through sixth grade. Unfortunately, we did not meet our annual growth goal in every grade level, so we plan to continue to strengthen our professional learning teams, our grade level teams, and our vertical articulation model, which we'll be sharing more of in this presentation with you, so that we can continue to learn from and with one another. We are also committed to increasing the number of learning walks with our administrative team and our instructional coach. So being visible in classrooms, being able to take data from observations with Mr. Franzal and I and our instructional coach, Ms. Zavala, and to be able to be guided by our superintendent instructional compass is our goal for this school year. And then we would also like to share with you the soil of our growth and the development of our emergent bilinguals at Creekside. So there are 175 English learners at Creekside, and from our total enrollment, that's about 31%. If we can go to the, thank you. A total of 16 students were able to reclassify during the 24-25 school year, and from our total English learner population, that's about 9%. So by May of 2026, we will increase the number of English learners who are being able to meet our reclassification criteria. That is our goal. Our goal is to support at least 10% of our emergent bilinguals to reclassify. So remember, we have 175 total at Creekside. So our goal is to be able to support at least 10% of our students to reclassify this school year. So in order to do that, our next steps are to be able to accelerate learning and language. So by providing professional development in designated ELD, and as well as the upcoming opportunity. So we have parent-teacher conferences starting next week. So this is going to be an opportunity for our families, our English learners and their families to meet individually with their teachers to be able to set goals and their goals to be able to reclassify this school year.
Moving forward, we wanted to talk about, again, our current reality and nurturing our environment with climate and engagement. So we are proud that our attendance has improved in the last couple of years across all grade levels. And so we're working closely with our office team and our community school coordinators to really figure out why we had low attendance a few years ago, but we're aiming for 98% as a school this year, and we're on that path of working together to improve our attendance. Part of that, just jumping over to the celebration of PBIS. So we were rewarded, we achieved the PBIS Platinum Implementation Award, and our goal is to maintain that. So not just to get it for 1 year, but to keep it for every year. And that took a lot of work as a team, but we definitely are celebrating with our students and our teachers and our families. And then the graph that you see in the middle is our cost referral process. So making sure that students who may need extra support or services, we are going through the cost referral to make sure they're identified and that we have that support, students can access that support. Here is Creekside's equity ideal. So we are collectively committed to provide equity and access to the instructional core every day to all students. The 4 essential questions anchored in the essential standards, utilizing the RTI framework, will drive our decisions around innovative teaching and learning experiences.
So to share a little bit more about our equity ideal, we want to share our success with you with our vertical articulation in the area of literacy. So we want to give a big shout out to our instructional coach, Mrs. Zavala, for taking the lead on facilitating these professional learning opportunities. So what is vertical articulation? So in cohorts, our kinder through 2nd grade teachers and then our 3rd through 6th grade teachers were able to take time during the day to collaborate with each other and to not only collaborate but agree upon impactful strategies in the area of literacy that are going to help us to continue to till the soil and support our students' growth in literacy. So this year, we're going to continue to monitor that plan that has been implemented last school year. And this year, we plan on having that same process in the area of mathematics. So this is going to continue to accelerate learning for all students because not only are teachers being able to collaborate horizontally or within their grade level, but they're also having an opportunity to collaborate with the grade level below and the grade level above to make sure that we're streamlining our processes and our instructional impact at Creekside.
And this is an example, key instructional strategy that we're utilizing at Creekside. It's called the 5E instructional model. So just to kind of walk you through it quickly, it starts with engage and then moves into explore. Then we go to explain, elaborate, and evaluate. And this really brings learning to life with hands-on opportunities and real-world connections. So our curriculum isn't always designed this way, but during the PLTs, teachers have this lens on how to really make the lesson engaging and bring in those hands-on opportunities with academic language. This is our superintendent compass that we mentioned during our learning walks. We again invite you to come to Creekside and visit and come into our classrooms and ask students any of the 3 superintendent instructional compass questions. And ask to say, please tell me more or show me show me what you're learning. And our students are excited to share, the learning that's happening every day.
And then one last data point that we'd like to share with you is our 30, 60, 90-day plan. And this is going to help us to continue accelerate learning. So we co-created this plan with our leadership team, and it's divided into 6 categories that include academics and operations. So the goals that are set in this 30, 60, 90-day plan help us to measure our progress towards achieving our school vision and mission, but they also allow us to measure impact and keep ourselves accountable on the goals that we're setting for every 30 and 60, 90 days. We're currently implementing our 60-day plan, and we'll continue to refine our goals into our 90-day plan. After we hit 90 school days, then we'll gather again as a team and then plan for our continued 30, 60, 90-day plan. Again, this is a way to help our team, including our administrative team, our instructional leadership team, and then our whole school community, to keep ourselves accountable to the goals that we're setting, not only in operations like safety, but also in academics.
And we're just going to end with some recent photos from the month of October, I believe. There's a lot to celebrate. Again, our community school grand opening, we had a really big turnout from the community. Big shout out to Ms. Gomez and Ms. Annalie for just coordinating that event for the ribbon cutting. And we just did recently a trunk or treat event that had, again, a lot of community families showing up. So we're getting ready for our fall festival on November 7th. Thank you so much.
Right on time.
And any questions? Yes.
Yeah.
How about starting over here, Mr. Jimenez?
Congratulations, Mrs. Mendoza. You are a good team, and I'm very proud that we have a good school like Creekside in our district.
Thank you so much. Any other
Mr.
questions?
Oh, sorry. Yeah, just a few comments and then some questions. Yeah, all of the test scores are pretty good, I thought. Math is low, but I guess it seems to be low in a lot of places. But everything else, all the other test scores look good. So I guess hopefully those math scores will, hopefully go up in the years to come. And, the superintendent compass, superintendent made that available to us not too long ago. So I'm just, we get all these pieces of paper that come to us. And I always wonder, does anyone use those pieces of paper? Or are they just pieces of paper, right? That say, I'm going to do this, I'm going to do that, or this looks good, or this looks great. So I'm just really glad to hear that you're actually using the superintendent compass, and hopefully it's being used everywhere, but because I think it's a good start, in terms of making sure our students are learning, or their approach to learning is a valid approach, or it's an approach that, that makes sense, or is, what do they call it when something is researched, or it's, I don't know, data-driven, or something like that. But anyway, so I'm just glad to see that the compass is being used. I did read it not too long ago. I don't know if I can, it's harder to remember those things, as you read stuff, but anyway, I did look at it. I was curious if you could give an example. You were talking about strengthening school climate and culture. If you could give an example of how you are strengthening the school climate and the culture? You know, what are you doing to strengthen?
Sure. An example would be leading by listening and asking good questions and taking the time to be very present with whether you're talking with students, with teachers, with families. One success, it's kind of an operational, but it also helps to keep our culture strong, is we have strong communication using our team chat. There's a morning message that goes out, and there's usually something that we're celebrating. And we encourage teachers to also celebrate so the team can see highlights of what's happening in real time throughout the day and throughout the week. And then we also use Class Dojo to share with families these highlights that are happening at Creekside. So again, it's listening, it's paying close attention, and then it's focusing on the positive, what's working. And if something's not working, then we sit down, we roll up our sleeves, and we figure it out. We problem solve together.
Yeah, I really like what you said, leading by listening, because I think that when you're leading by listening, you're giving students a voice, and I think that's so important in terms of our students doing well, is them feeling that their opinions have value, and that they have value, and so to me that's very important. You know, so I'm glad to hear that.
Yes, thank you. And we also believe in staying curious. You know, students are very curious. So asking questions and not just giving the answer right away, asking a question in return and getting them to think and try to figure things out, right? So that critical thinking piece is really important. But we also talked about joy. And so really, where are there opportunities throughout the day to practice being joyful? And I think that students, if you're paying close attention, they have a lot of joy to share. So just having conversations with students and again, with teachers, with families, and being present in the moment.
Yeah, excellent. Yeah, joy is very important. I was also interesting because, you know, I was a high school counselor for 40 years and I went to a lot of staff meetings, if you can imagine, at that time. So I'm wondering, how are you, you said redesigning staff meetings. How are they being redesigned?
So I was a teacher for 16 years and I sat through a lot of staff meetings where I thought to myself, "Hey, this could be better, right? And I had feedback. So now that I get to co-design staff meetings, we think about the goals that we're aiming for and how can we give teachers experiences that they can then take back into the classroom. So professional learning, a lot of times adults need to experience what we want our students to experience in the classroom. So we're giving them tools during staff meetings that involve collaboration, and they're able to take that back and try it out in the classroom. Such as, yes, strategies that might come from things like elevation or different tools that we have. That way they know as part of their resources, they have access to take that experience and do that with students. And then come back and share, how did it work? What could have, worked better? And just giving them time to collaborate and be creative.
So you're sort of you're dedicating some time in staff meetings for professional development, I guess.
I would say most of the time in staff meetings is around thinking about how can we really leverage adult learning. So that way they can have time to process, reflect, and apply back in the classroom with students.
Okay, thank you. Thank you for that.
No problem.
Ms. Quilpas Barrera?
Thank you. I'm intrigued by what's going on at your school. It's awesome. One brief, something that I wanted to share a while back, I was at your school and it was recess or lunchtime. And I kid you not, you were like the Beatles, the way the kids were following you around. I mean, they knew your name. They wanted to hang out with you. You had to kind of say, okay, I'll be right with you. And all over the campus, the older kids, the younger kids. And I thought that was so special because you could do all this. This is very important. This is our goal, what you shared with us. But if you don't have love for kids, or if you're not where you want to be as an educator, where you are, Mr. Frenzel, you wouldn't have those kids wanting to learn because you're such a fine example as a leader. And I could tell by the way they were following you. Okay, maybe the Beatles had a few more followers, but it's very impressive because I could see that, and it takes time to build those relationships with kids. So they see you as a good role model, as someone who's implementing these programs or whatever it is you're doing just to raise student achievement with your assistant principal. And it's just seems like a happy place there at Creekside School. So congratulations.
Thank you so much.
Ms. Perez?
Just a comment. You guys don't know this, but I've shared it with a few people that I'm a fan of yours. You guys are a team, and I love it. I love everything about it. I love your school. I love that you love your job, and they say, you know, you have to be in a job that you love, so, you know, you're happy and you show it. You show it. So, really proud of you guys.
Thank you.
And thank you for being a good team.
Thank you.
And there's a movie, I'm gonna go a little off topic, but there's a movie from Eugenio Derbez, and he's a teacher. I'm gonna get the name of the movie. I don't know if anybody knows. Have you seen it? What's it? Okay. Yes, I'm gonna get you the name so you
Please.
can watch it.
Yes.
But he's a motivator.
Yeah.
And he lets the children, like you said it a few moments ago, you know, you make them think. And the movie talks or shows how he makes the students think, but makes them be hands-on. And it's not science particularly, but you know, yes, they start doing things with hands-on, and you know, they become somebody.
Yeah.
So
Thank you so
proud of
much.
you guys.
Yeah.
Yes.
Please send that to me. I want to see that.
So I'm a big fan.
Well, thank you. And your enthusiasm for science wins anybody over. Thank you so much for that. I did actually read your paper, so I was very pleased to read it, and I'm very proud of both of you. Thank you for being a wonderful team. Thank you for showing us what, you know, focusing on science could do for kids. One regret that I had is when I was a principal, that I never got the teachers to want to start their day with science so that I could get all my kids there on time and all that. That was my only regret. But well, I had other regrets, but I mean, that one was one of them. But I thank you for all that you do. It certainly is showing. I like to see cohorts, you know, like I'm looking at your data, and I like to see how your fourth grade did in 2023, and now they're fifth graders. I want to see that growth, and I'm looking at it, and it looks really good. So thank you so much for both of you for what you're doing at that school. We really appreciate it. Thank you.
Thank you.
Okay, so we are moving now on to item 4, board member or superintendent reports. Should we start with the superintendent?
Yes, so tomorrow, October 30th, is actually we're celebrating Halloween tomorrow in the district. The 31st is a professional development day for us. So you will see throughout the schools, there are some activities happening. We have tomorrow, if you're available, from 2 to 5 at Virginia Rocca Barton, a community center celebration and opening celebration. So that will be happening. We also have I believe it's Montebella trunk or treat happening also at 5 tomorrow. There's also on the 31st, besides all the professional development that's happening at each site, it's a site professional development day. So the principals will be running their own professional development. I believe we also have our paraeducators and our behavioral technicians on a professional development day. And then we have our ribbon cutting at Chavez at 10 a.m. for the opening of our new kinder wing. So hopefully we can see you there. And just as a reminder that turn back your clocks on Sunday, as it is fall. We changed the time, so fall back. And it's also Dia de los Muertos on that November 2nd. And then November 3rd, we come back on Monday to start parent-teacher conferences. So we're almost there. Thank you.
Board members? Anything? Oh, Ms. Kipos?
Oh, briefly, yes, I was, just wanted to commend, like Ms. Keiko said, everybody involved with the classified PD day, especially Mr. George Lopez. I mean, he's on it. Did you present also, Mr. Lopez? I think after lunch he presented. Before that, he was with all the ladies, and also Mr. Diaz was there. I think Mr. Abbasi was great. So organized, and I was able to make it to help pass out a few sandwiches. And I had one for myself, and it was great. So Mr. Lopez comes up to me and tells me what a good deal he got on the food, and I thought, oh, that's great. I'm getting a reputation here, I think, for asking questions about the food, but it was really it seems like the substance of the classes also was awesome. So I got to go into a few of those, and it was just amazing. And then was able to attend the Fremont ribbon cutting, and it was good to see, staff there. And Dr. Fernandez, you were the principal there at one time, and you didn't get the new school, but now the new principal does. But it was awesome, and a lot of good things that are happening in the district. Very good place to be right now. So thank you so much.
How about on this side? Nope. Mr. Campo?
It's real short. Just want to say that last week, my wife and I, we had dinner with Kirsten, that's how you pronounce it, Kirsten Carr, who is the Chief Communication and Engagement Officer with Navigator Charter Schools. The meeting was actually with my wife. I just sort of tagged along, and I just went there to see if they would feed me. And they did feed me, so that was nice. But anyway, my wife is a trustee with the Monterey County Office of Education, and in order for Navigator to open their new school in Salinas, they need to get the okay from the trustees from the Monterey County Board of Education. So obviously they took her out to dinner in an attempt to convince her to support them, in their endeavor to build a new school in Salinas. And the reason I bring this up is that if they're successful, if they actually do build a new charter school in Salinas, then they'll be pulling some of our students. I don't know how many, but some of our students will be pulled to the charter school. Some students from the Salinas City District will be pulled to the new charter school. So I just bring that up, just kind of, I don't know, maybe just a heads up. I don't know if our staff has any interest in meeting with Kirsten Carr to kind of get an idea of what the physical impact might be. Probably won't be that bad, I don't think, but I don't know. Anyway, I just throw that out there if staff is interested. So that's my report.
Thank you so much. Moving on to item 5, consent agenda, approve, ratify contracts, MOUs, agreements, grants, proposals, conferences, workshops, field trips, approval of a consent agenda.
So moved.
Mhm. Thank you. So I got a first by Ms. Quilpas Barrera and a second by Mr. Ocampo. Oh, Mr. Jimenez, sorry. Comments or questions? Ms. Ansel, can you please take the line vote? Oh, you got a comment, sorry.
Yes, I do. Thank you. Thank you so much. Yes.
Sure.
I am concerned with the amount of money that's being spent on some of the meals. But Mrs. Anzo said she'll meet with me and kind of explain how that works. I'm looking forward to that. But I did want to ask, it seems like there's one restaurant, and I don't want to blast the restaurant because they have a very good reputation, that we give most of our business to. Do we rotate? Or I know it's sometimes because certain restaurants get POs and others don't, why is it that we're just using this main one?
So I think sometimes it has a lot to do with either the service, the delivery. If I have a professional development day for 300 people and I need 300 burritos, I can't go fit them all in my truck. So I need to find someone who's going to deliver them, right? So that might be part of it, the decision-making on what catering to go to. We do try to rotate. I think our directors, especially in the ed services side, that they're the ones that run a lot of the professional development. They try to bring in different local restaurants, the local businesses, small businesses, to try and share the wealth and give different options, I would say. But it depends a lot on who's going to deliver, because if I'm setting up for professional development, I'll be honest, if I'm making sure everything's taken care of, is the last thing I want to worry about is picking up food for the participants. So I want to make sure it's there, it's delivered, and they come and help set up. So it depends on what the service that they're giving.
Thank you. Another question I did have, I was looking over the legal fees that we pay our attorneys. We all know attorneys are very, very expensive, but it is listed on the different periods. I think the warrants cover 2 months, 3 months. Is it 3 months? Yeah, they cover the 3 months. So legal fees, are very, very expensive, but it does list, there's one time I saw, I think it was like over 9,000 for legal counsel for the board. And I think each one of the 3 periods, there's legal counsel for the board, and then there's an amount that's paid. And I was wondering, where does that come from? If we call them, or is that because they're at our board meeting, or is that because it seems like that payment or that check that's cut out to them is specifically because of the board, but in what? I mean, in closed session, or what, do we know what that, or can anybody answer where that's about?
I mean, again, I would have to look at.
I know,
the-
there's a lot on the
Yes.
warrants, I know. There's a lot. Could I ask somebody to answer that question? I
I
mean,
mean, I don't know if we have an answer, but
well, if we're cutting a check, there has to be an answer, correct?
Yes, we have all the backup.
Mhm.
We can provide all the backup, but the simple answer is all of the above. Is the meetings they attend, the phone calls we make for clarifications, and the phone calls are of different nature. It can be a public records request that can be very time
Okay, but
consuming.
I'm talking about related to the board, because it does say it's for the board. So that means that board members, I know we can call the attorneys, and I think I have once or twice, and I know it's expensive, so I try not to. So maybe that's something we can talk about at the workshop, but I just want to know what are they charging the board? What is that being, what is it that they're doing for the board that they're charging? I'm not saying that they shouldn't be paid or that they're not worth it. What I'm asking is, what is it? Because it seems
so
like.
there's this statement, okay, so to help us all understand, there's the one statement, and that statement, there's one check written for that statement. And so that statement has, we all in cabinet review the statement for the services that we need from legal counsel. So my question now is, based on what Ms. Gilbas is asking, is if that's the one statement, we don't give them a check for every single different division. It's one statement, right? I mean, one
Yes.
check.
One statement, one check. But we code that to different departments, and Board of Education being one department.
So
Superintendent
what
has-
I want to know is but I want to know, okay, so what does that mean that it's for, it says the board, I don't have the correct, legal counsel for board. That's how it's listed. And one of the charges was 9,000, a little bit over $9,000. Well, I don't think I'm the only one that reads the warrants. I don't want to run into someone at Bootsco or Nob Hill and they say, wow, what are you doing that you're incurring that payment for the attorneys? I want to have an answer. I think that's what I want. I'm not trying to put anybody on the spot.
No, so it can be how we maybe explain the justification on it, because it could be, and Mr. Bossi, correct me if I'm wrong, when I make a payment, I have to put a requisition, the PO, the check gets cut, right? So I have to make sure, like any warrant, I put the justification. So it could be for professional development, that's how we're using this restaurant. For the board, it could, I mean, for the legal counsel, if it's for the Board of Education, but that doesn't mean that it's just for the board. So maybe when we justify it, it should be clear on just different divisions, legal or district services, because it's not just for the board. That
Okay,
check.
that would make sense, because I would like to know about that, because it's expensive, and I know, I just want to know what it is, to know, and to be able to, another time it was over $4,000, and I'm thinking, well, we don't see the attorney too much at our board meetings, only when it's something that we have to, and I appreciate our attorneys, but I just want to know what's that for.
So Lozano Smith provides an itemized listing of all the phone calls and all the inquiries that we make. We can provide all the backup. We can look at all the.
I'm just interested
detailed
because I don't want to micromanage. And I know I've been at CSPA and they say you can become a board member who micromanages if you pay to spend too much time on the warrants. But if you don't know how the money's being spent or how you can answer it to the community, which that's the seat that we're sitting here, is what we do. We answer to the community. So I'm specifically interested in the board. What is that a board? What do we have to do with it? Or how are we incurring that cost to the district.
All right.
Okay.
We'll provide the backup.
Thank you so much. And that could just be on the board update. Doesn't necessarily have to. I appreciate that. Thank you so much. Oh, and then one last thing, just to say, I'm glad to hear that we're going to be having the English classes at each one of our community school centers for the parents. So that's going to be something very exciting. Thank you.
Any more comments or questions? Okay, Mrs. Ansel, can you please take the line vote?
Trustee Leticia Garcia,
Yes.
trustee Robert Ocampo,
Yes.
trustee Beatriz Perez,
Yes.
trustee Guadalupe Gilpaz Barrera,
Yes.
trustee Jose Antonio Jimenez.
Yes.
Motion passes 5-0.
Item 6, educational services. Item A, action item 2025-26, Title 1, Parent Involvement School District Policy. May I get a motion?
So moved.
Ms. Gilpaz Barrera, can I get a second? Mr. Jimenez, comments or questions? Ms. Gilpaz Barrera.
Yes, thank you. Yes, so it lists here on the parent and by the Title I district policy, the meetings that principals share information with their parents. One being the coffee clutch, PTOs, meetings, and all of this. So are the principals present? Because we're listing coffee clutches. Are they supposed to go to the coffee clutches? Do all of the schools have PTOs? And are all of the schools consistent with what the district parent involvement policy says? Is one
Yes.
question.
Yes, so I can provide more information in regards to that. So in relation to the coffee clutches, these are usually run in coordination with our site principals. And then at this point, since we also have the school coordinators, they can support with that as well. But mostly the principals use these meetings as opportunities to provide information to our parents. And then these meetings that you have listed here, most of them are happening across the board in terms of all school sites. These are just some of the most common examples. So Title I meeting at the district level needs to happen annually, and so does at the site levels. All of our Title I schools, which are all of our schools mostly, or all of them, need to be holding this meeting annually to provide information to parents in regards to how our Title I funds are being used, and specifically when it comes to the family/parent engagement piece.
Oh, that's awesome. That's good to know. That's good to know. Thank you. And then one more question on this item. So the parent involvement policy is sent home yearly? That's a hard copy? How do the kindergartners?
Yes.
First graders, I mean,
And we can also have it posted on our website as long as it's accessible to our families, or even having hard copies at the school offices or at the district office. So we need to provide pretty much evidence that it's available when requested, and also just have it available for them as information. I believe this year we did send out a parent handbook, an electronic one. So Title I is part of that.
so it does
information.
go home with the students then.
Mhm.
Has that become effective? Or I guess you don't get too many parents that are going to be asking for the policy, right? Because that's what we'd like. But how do the smaller grades take it
Yeah.
home in their backpack? I mean, or do we do a different kind of outreach with them?
So what we do, we have our DLAC meetings, and during our DLAC meeting, we present this information so that parents can have obviously more access to the information, but also understand that it's available for them as well.
Awesome. Thank you so much.
You're welcome.
Any other comments or questions? No? I have one comment about, didn't there used to be a school compact associated with the parent involvement? Or you have the?
Yes, so that
Is
is
that-
part of the Title I parent engagement policy,
Mhm.
and these usually take place during our parent conferences to ensure that all the different stakeholders know their responsibility, from the teachers, the student, the parents, and the school. So that in coordination, we're all working together to support students.
So teachers present that at the parent
Yes.
conference, and the parents sign,
Mhm.
and the student signs maybe, and then the teacher? There
Correct.
used to be 3 signatures on there.
Yes.
After. Okay, so that'll take place. So the teachers are aware, and I mean, we just know that the parent-teacher conference is right around the corner.
Yes,
So I'm
they're
assuming
coming up.
that's when they're going to sign those.
Yes, correct.
Okay. Thank you. If there's no more comments or questions, Ms. Ansel, can you please take the line vote?
Yes. Trustee Leticia Garcia?
Yes.
Trustee Robert Ocampo?
Yes.
Trustee Beatriz Perez?
Yes.
Trustee Guadalupe Gilpaz Barrera?
Yes.
Trustee Jose Antonio Jimenez?
Yes.
Motion passes 5-0.
Item 6B, action item, LaSalle Union School District Multilingual Learner Master Plan 24-27. May I get a motion?
Make a motion.
Mr. Jimenez, can I get a second? Ms. Gilbas Barrera, comments, questions? Yes, Ms. Gilbas Barrera.
Sorry, thank you. I'll be brief. I was just having a conversation with Dr. Fernandez and Mrs. Anzo about this. So we're gonna have to change, no more ELs. They're all what is it, multi-language learners. So as the district plan right now has it, it still says English learners. So, but once we vote for this, then that's gonna, so like, what's ELAC gonna be called?
ELAC would still be called ELAC. This is just to ensure that we're matching our language to the California language when it comes to the designation of our multilingual learners.
Okay, so when we talk about a student who's an English language learner, we're gonna call that a
Lingual learner.
Oh, wow, it's gonna take a while.
Yes, to ensure that
That's
it's
fine.
the language, the words that we're using are much more inclusive to any student who might be learning.
And
any
this is
the language.
nationwide, statewide?
State.
Statewide, okay, thank you.
You're welcome.
Okay. Any other comments, questions? Nope. Mrs. Anzo, can you please take the line vote?
Yes. Trustee Leticia Garcia?
Yes.
Trustee Robert Ocampo?
Yes.
Trustee Beatriz Perez?
Yes.
Trustee Guadalupe Gilpaz Barrera?
Yes.
Trustee Jose Antonio Jimenez?
Yes.
Motion passes 5-0.
Item 6C, action item 2025-26, LaSalle Community School and Sanchez Jesse G. Elementary School Title I Annual Parent Involvement Policy. May I get a motion?
Make a motion.
Mr. Jimenez, can I get a second?
Second.
Mr. Ocampo, comments or questions? Ms. Anzo, can you please take the line vote?
Yes. Trustee Leticia Garcia?
Yes.
Trustee Robert Ocampo?
Yes.
Trustee Beatriz Perez? Yes. Trustee Guadalupe Gilpaz Barrera?
Yes.
Trustee Jose Antonio Jimenez?
Yes.
Motion passes 5-0.
Item 7A, Human Resources, Information, Board Certified Behavior Analyst, ECBA Job Description, First Grade. This is information. Now, item 8, Administrative Services. A, action item, ratify resolution number 2526-07, designating authorized agents to sign school orders. May I get a motion?
So move.
Mr. Ocampo, may I get a second? Mr. Jimenez? No comments or questions on this one? Comments or questions, anybody? I think we forgot that part, yeah? All right, Ms. Anzo, can you please take the line vote?
Trustee Leticia Garcia?
Yes.
Trustee Robert Ocampo?
Yes.
Trustee Beatriz Perez? Yes. Trustee Guadalupe Gilpaz Barrera?
Yes.
Trustee Jose Antonio Jimenez?
Yes.
Motion passes 5-0.
Item 8B, action item, amend to certificated management and cabinet salary schedule for 2025-2026 and 2026-2027. May I get a motion?
Make a motion.
Mr. Jimenez, can I get a second?
Second.
Ms. Perez, comments or questions? Ms. Gilpaz?
Thank you.
Ms. Gilpaz Barrera, did you have a comment? Oh, okay, I'm sorry, okay. Okay, so, all right. May we take the, Ms. Ansel, may you please take the line vote?
Yes. Trustee Leticia Garcia?
Yes.
Trustee Robert Ocampo?
Yes.
Trustee Beatriz Perez?
Yes.
Trustee Guadalupe Gilpaz Barrera?
Yes.
Trustee Jose Antonio Jimenez?
Yes.
Motion passes 5-0.
Item 8C, action item, revised board policies, administrative regulations, and exhibits series 6,000, instruction included. May I get a motion?
Second.
Ms. Gilbas Barrera, seconded by Mr. Ocampo. Comments and questions? Mrs. Anzo, please take the line vote.
Trustee Leticia Garcia?
Yes.
Trustee Robert Ocampo?
Yes.
Trustee Beatriz Perez? Yes. Trustee Guadalupe Gilpaz Barrera?
Oh, sorry, yes.
Trustee Jose Antonio Jimenez?
Yes.
Motion passes 5-0.
Item 8D, action item, revised board policies and administrative regulations, Series 7000, facilities included. May I get a motion?
Make a motion.
Mr. Jimenez, can I get a second?
Second.
Ms. Guibas Varela, comments or questions? Mrs. Ansel, can you please take the line vote?
Trustee Leticia Garcia?
Yes.
Trustee Robert Ocampo?
Yes.
Trustee Beatriz Perez? Yes. Trustee Guadalupe Gilpaz Barrera?
Yes.
Trustee Jose Antonio Jimenez?
Yes.
Motion passes 5-0.
Item 8E, action item, adopt new board policy, Series 7000, facilities included. May I get a motion?
Make a motion.
Mr. Jimenez, can I get a second?
Second.
Mr. Ocampo, comments or questions? Mrs. Ansel, can you please take the line vote?
Yes. Trustee Leticia Garcia?
Yes.
Trustee Robert Ocampo?
Yes.
Trustee Beatriz Perez? Yes. Trustee Guadalupe Gilpaz Barrera?
Yes.
Trustee Jose Antonio Jimenez?
Yes.
Motion,
Yes.
motion passes 5-0.
Item 8F, action item, adopt new board bylaws and exhibits, Series 8000, bylaws included. There's a Series 9000, sorry, bylaws included. May I get a motion?
Make a motion.
Mr. Jimenez, may I get second?
Second.
Ms. Guibas Barrera, comments, questions? Ms. Ansel, can you please take the line vote?
Yes. Trustee Leticia Garcia?
Yes.
Trustee Robert Ocampo?
Yes.
Trustee Beatriz Perez? Yes. Trustee Guadalupe Gilpaz Barrera?
Yes.
Trustee Jose Antonio Jimenez?
Yes.
Motion passes 5-0.
Yeah, okay. Item 8G, action item, revised board bylaws and exhibits, Series 9000, bylaws included. May I get a motion?
Make a motion.
Mr. Jimenez, may I get a second? Mrs. Perez, comments or questions? Mrs. Aguilpas? Ms. Aguilpas, was that raising your hand for, oh, comments? Okay, I'm getting the wrong, yeah, okay. It's fine. Mrs. Ansel, may you
Yes.
take the line vote?
Trustee Leticia Garcia?
Yes.
Trustee Robert Ocampo?
Yes.
Trustee Beatriz Perez? Yes. Trustee Guadalupe Gilpaz Barrera?
Yes.
And Trustee Jose Antonio Jimenez?
Yes.
Motion passes 5-0.
Item 8H, information discussion, review of draft 2026 regular board meeting dates calendar.
Okay. So you have two different calendars in front of you. We felt this is important for you to know before we come to December 10th when we do our organizational meeting. And you'll have to adopt one of the calendars or a different version, right? So we have two versions here. We'll start just a quick review of draft B. So draft B reflects what we currently have. So we'll start with the meeting on January 7th. We'll have a July meeting, and then you can see all the way through. It looks exactly what we did the 2025 board meeting schedule. What you have, and that's a total of 17 meetings. Then we have draft A, which is the one that's going to look a little different. So if you notice the total number of meetings, this one comes out to 15 meetings, and this is why. You also have a school calendar in front of you. If you notice, in the month of December and into January 2026, our winter break has been pushed back. We have been taking the winter break usually around December 12th, 13th. It's been pushed back a week, so the last day with students is December 19th. So most of our staff will be off for the 3 weeks, and we will not be back in session until the 12th. So if we were to have a meeting on January 7th, most of our staff, especially those that help prepare the board meeting, will be on vacation. So that is why we have pushed our board meeting to January 14th. When we come back into session on January 12th, then that Wednesday we'll have that board meeting. So what the difference is that if you look at your draft B, we have 2 meetings in January. This one we will only have 1 meeting in January. And then the other difference is that draft A does not include a July meeting. And that could leave some cushion if we need to have a special board meeting, we need to have a workshop, but it does not include the July meeting. So we wanted to make sure you took a look at these. We have time for some discussion, direct staff on if you want something different, or which one do we want to bring to the December meeting.
Ms. Guillen Barrera.
Yeah, I would like some time to look at this. I was just remembering that historically, this school district has always had a meeting every other Wednesday. The reason that it started even to 3 weeks is this board wanted at least 3 weeks. One of our superintendents wanted one meeting a month, which was only 12. And his reason for that was that it was too much work for the employees. But that's what we do. We each have our role in that. So when I look at less meetings, I just remember that the intent then, maybe it's not good to go backwards, was just to have less meetings. And we're a business that we're taking care of, important things. I would like to see something, I don't know how the rest of the board feels, because Draft B has 17 meetings, Draft A has 15. If we could maybe meet in the middle and do 16 meetings. And see, I think it makes sense for the January meeting to go to either the 14th or the 21st. I don't know. And then maybe no July meeting, I'm not sure. But yeah, I'd like to see 16 meetings and not go 15. 15 is only 3 meetings more than having one a month. But we can look at it and then we can all share thoughts. Thank you.
Any other discussion or?
Yeah.
Okay,
Mr. I think you said something about that, no meeting in July, I think you said, to leave it open for some kind of a special board meeting, I think is what you said. I'm not sure what my question is, but could I ask the rationale or for that, or?
So, I mean, it's also almost the same. The staff is limited at that time. We have had a July meeting since COVID. Before we weren't using the July meeting. So it was like a break for everybody. But during the COVID time, we found that we had to have a July meeting because we needed to approve teachers, we needed to approve different plans and different changes that maybe the state was having in quick turnarounds. So we left that July meeting and it's been happening ever since. So it's about 5 years that we've been doing that July meeting now. So this was, again, it's just a recommendation of and a draft, right? If I think your input is needed so that when we come back to the December 10th, you have one version to vote on, or then if not, we're going to have 2 different versions and we vote on which one do you want. If not, I mean, we can always do that, but we just, for the time that you still have now, you can really look at it and study it and give us some input.
So the July meeting was put into effect. COVID somehow needed a July, because of COVID, we needed a July meeting.
Yes.
Now you're saying we don't really need one because we don't have COVID, all right?
Well, we make sure that everything is turned in before we go on the summer break. Again, most of our schools are closed by then.
Yeah.
And then we do come back. When we come back, we have to look at our school calendar, which we need to work on is usually the first week of August, right?
Okay.
So that July meeting will help in case we need to hire teachers, but we won't know until we get there. But we can keep that meeting on. I mean, that's, again, it's just a recommendation. Draft B has a July meeting and 2 in January, which it looks exactly like what we've done this year.
Yeah, I think that would be open maybe to 15 meetings or maybe to the 16 meetings that La Señora Ilpas brought up. So I'm not sure. I think I'd lean towards one of those, 15 or 16. I'm not sure which one right now.
Okay, thank you. So we have time to kind of discuss later on. Yeah, I'm on the fence. I think our board has been really good about showing up and we've never really not had a quorum, right? I think as long as I could remember, I've never been here present where there wasn't a quorum, which is good. That way, whatever's on that agenda could get passed that evening and we won't have to reschedule things. So I think we've been really good about that. Anyway, yeah, then there's so much school business, right? The SIPSAs, and I'm thinking about all the school businesses, the budgets, and there's just a lot of things that require the school board to be in session.
So
Anyway.
usually the June, and that's why you have the 2 meetings in June. That's our budget needs to be approved the last meeting in June, so before July 1st. So we have one meeting in which the LCAP is presented, the budget is presented, and then the second meeting in June has to happen so that we can approve the budget and we can approve the LCAP, and then I believe that's when we also bring the SIPSAs.
Thank you. So we have time to decide. Anyway, thank you. I'm going to move on to item 9, future agenda items. A, school site presentation, Frank Paul Elementary Principal Miguel Porras on November 19th. And then we have B, school site presentation, Fremont Elementary School Principal Alberta Bustamante on December 10th. And C, department presentation, first interim budget report, Director of Fiscal Services Elaine Mendoza on December the 10th as well. Item 10, future meeting dates, November the 5th, November 19th, and December 10th, which is our annual organizational regular board meeting. But the next one is a special board meeting on November the 5th. 11, public comments. A, individuals wishing to address the Board of Trustees on closed session agenda items may do so at this time. Starting time 7:06. Okay. See none, say none. Close this ending time at 7:06 as well. My clock hasn't changed. We are now going to adjourn to closed session. I'm calling it 7:07. Item B, break. After a 10-minute break, closed session will begin promptly at 7:17. Thank you. We're going to closed session. Thank you.
Item 13, right? Doing item 13? Yes. We're back? Let's see. What does the whole say? Oh, well. I think we're good.
Okay, we are reconvening. Item 13, reconvening to open session. Time reconvened is at 8:02 p.m. Item 13B, sorry, report action. One action taken in closed session to report regarding item B, conference with labor negotiator, unrepresented employees. The board took the following action. On a vote of 5-0, with a motion made by trustee Guadalupe Gilbert Barrera and seconded by trustee Jose Antonio Jimenez, the board approved Lauren Erickson as the new Human Resource Program Manager. And she's in the audience, so we're going to go ahead and give her a round of applause for staying this late. Thank you. Item 14, adjournment. I will adjourn this meeting at 8:03 p.m. Thank you all for being here, and a good night.